very high touch, and like focused on work. Ideally, it's with, I'm being paid, or there's some kind of P&L associated with it. Lots of like pre-event connection and like just a lot of things like that. Versus like very low lift. So 2 weeks ago, I hosted an event, co-hosted an event at my apartment. It was called Bring a Thing, Hang, and everyone brought a thing, and that could be like people brought books and um, lots of different like really quirky things. But it was like, I don't want this to feel like an event. I don't want this to feel like work. I just kind of want to see my friends, but I know that like just a little bit of intention and a little bit of like it's kind of like a show and tell, like gets people chatting and telling stories about themselves that allows them to connect with other people. So that's kind of the barbell approach. And also I did like in February and March, it was really, really cold. Um, I did some of these things that I was calling like minimum viable hangs, which was like, I don't know, from like the tech startup world, there's like the, MVP, minimum viable product, but it was like, what's a minimum viable hang? And so I bought, it was so cold. So I knew people weren't really going out, and, my social life and social velocity had really come down, but I was like, we still want to see people. We still want to see our friends. We still want to like meet new people, etc. And I was like, I don't really want to like go to a coffee shop and bring like 10 layers and then take them off and then, and that takes a long time and stuff. I was like that. But I was like, what if like I just kind of open up my apartment for friends, and if like 4 people come, great. If 10 people come, great. If you're there for 10 minutes, great. If you're there for 2 hours, amazing. But just like a minimum viable hang. And like, so that was another example of like this kind of barbell approach. There's like this conference that I co-hosted in March called the Community Led Growth Conference. It was 70 plus community builders. It was a speakerless conference. Everybody is a speaker. There was no like speakers on a stage, but like lots of curation, lots of like really sweating the details and doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and really wanted to make an incredible experience for people that were there, compared with this like minimum viable hang of just like, hey, like let's just get together, like it's been cold. We haven't seen each other for a while. Let's riff, banter. Who knows? Maybe we need to talk about kind of like ideas or interests, etc. But just like a very casual thing. So that's kind of like how I've been thinking about things. And thankfully, it's also a little bit nicer weather-wise here. So